Hey guys, Mike Tabbert here from the LevelUp Golf Academy, partnering with Carl's Place. I have Tim with me today, and we're going to help you drive the golf ball a lot farther. We're going to break this down into two parts. We're going to help you launch it high with a better attack angle and spin it low so that golf ball lands with some roll. So we're going to help you with your attack angle and controlling your loft to increase your driving distance. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to demonstrate just one drive. Again, what we're talking about with attack angle is when we hit into the golf ball, are we hitting up into the golf ball or are we hitting more down? With the driver, we do want to hit up on the golf ball. So we set the golf ball towards the front of our stance, usually under our lead shoulder or off our lead instep are some good rules of thumb. We get a nice wide stance, and when we get set up, we're going to tilt our body to be able to bring the club up to the golf ball. So we don't want to necessarily turn because this will adjust my alignment. A lot of people make that mistake. So tilt to bring the club up to the golf ball. And when I come into the golf ball, we're trying to lower the spin, so I don't want to add loft. I want to try to come through with a nice flat lead wrist. So when I come into the golf ball, I'm going to have a nice flat lead wrist with my arm and club shaft fairly straight together with my body leaning back to hit up on it. That's going to help me with both the spin and the attack angle. You can see hit it in the middle of the club face, nice and straight, high draw. We look at the bottom right side of the screen, we had an attack angle of +7. And the spin rate, couple boxes to the left, was 1,855. So nice high launch and a low spin. And total distance was 312 yards. So pretty good drive for me. So we have to see if you can do that, Tim.
All right.
One first question I always like to ask any of my students is, how tall of a tee do you like to use? Do you like kind of a short, medium, or tall tee?
I usually go a little bit shorter because I tend to hit under the ball and I would sky it up in the air.
Okay, so let's have you come on over and grab a tee height that is good for you. All right, and then we're just going to have you hit one. We're going to baseline what you currently do.
So just my normal swing?
Just your normal swing. Don't change a thing. Okay, and we know that you tend to slice the golf ball. We talked about that. So when we look at your ball flight, we see that we have an attack angle that is -1, so we are hitting down. And then we see your spin rate is up to 3,200, okay? Ideally, we, again, want to hit up on the golf ball. We'd like to keep the spin rate in the low 2,000s, right? Around 2,000 to 2,500 is a good place to be.
Okay.
So when we look at your tee height selection, I could have already guaranteed you were going to hit down on the golf ball because most people that hit down like small tees, so they don't necessarily go underneath it, as you said. So just by us fixing your attack angle, you may start to change your tee height, okay? But that is definitely going to help us, hit the golf ball more when we're hitting down on it when you have a short tee, but ultimately we want to fix the attack angle and we might adjust that. So when we are hitting more down, you are always going to create more backspin. Okay?
Okay.
So we're going to go through and adjust your setup. Let's have you just stick with your current tee to start out with here. All right, take your normal address position. Again, we want to go through Tim's address. Again, he has a good ball position off of his lead instep, but he's not really giving us a very good tilt. So we want Tim to tilt more like so, and we want to have more weight loaded to his back leg. So if we were to plumb bob from his midsection, right in here, this should be favoring towards his right foot. So when we're moving back towards his right foot, that's presetting him to be behind the ball even more, which is going to help a lot. So now when you're in this position here, Tim, we're going to practice with this lean back. So I'm going to take away the golf ball here, and I'm going to take my club and hold it next to your ear. Okay?
Okay.
So when you swing, think of this as like a limbo stick. You have to swing and don't run into the limbo stick. Okay, go nice and slow, like a 50% swing speed, but keep your head and everything back. Okay, so you're already preset behind, but we cannot move forward. We need to stay back and behind the limbo stick. Good. Does that feel different?
It feels a lot different.
Okay, so do you feel or visualize the club coming through the ground low here and swinging up? Mm-hmm. Good. Okay. Try that again. A little bit more lean, good. A Ooh, ooh. You hit the stick
Yep.
there. As an instructor, this is always fun. You get to hit your students a little bit. So, good, not bad. Okay, so that's a big key. Now, describe for us, what are you feeling when you did that? Like, is there a different feeling in your body or just more of the visual of hitting up on the ball?
It's both. Like, I'm not used to starting off with that much weight on the back leg, so it's definitely a different feel to the swing, and just the visual of seeing the ball at a different angle is kind of messing with me too.
Yeah, for sure. But it should also make perfect sense as to how that's going to help you hit up
Oh
on
yeah,
the ball,
for sure.
right?
It totally does.
So when we do this, we're going to just start there, not change anything else other than your setup, and you got to visualize I'm holding that stick next to your ear.
Okay.
Okay? We're going to keep with your short tee. If you happen to hit it off the bottom of the club, that's not going to be a surprise because you're changing your attack angle. So lean back, stay behind the limbo stick in your head, see if we can hit up on the ball. Okay? So our attack angle went to a +1, spin rate went down to 2,000. So when we look at your ball flight here, you hit up on the golf ball. We did gain a few yards of distance, even with a slower swing speed and not hitting it as solidly, because we hit more up on the golf ball when we lowered the spin, we still netted more distance. So again, that tells us like if we catch it really solid, we're going to gain a lot of distance. So we do still see that your contact was higher up on the club face, so we still could hit up on it more to help hopefully not hit it up that high on the club, and that'll help you hit it more solidly and go farther. So see if we can do that one more time.
That was not a good swing at all.
Not our best, but we still hit up on the golf ball more. Again, just wasn't as clean of a contact.
Definitely not.
This is common when we're starting to make some big swing changes, and like you had said, it's pretty weird feeling.
Yeah.
But we're still seeing the spins going down, the attack angle's going up, so we're building on something here. All right, we're still seeing a little bit of a slice pattern, okay? So one way that we can help you lower the spin but also close the club face is breaking out a nice fancy pen.
Okay.
So when we do this, go ahead and turn and give me your hand here if you would. So we're going to take his hand and his glove, and we're going to take this pen and put it right inside here. So what this is not going to allow him to do is bend his wrist and cup. So if he cups it into it, he's going to poke himself in the hand or in the forearm here. But what we can do is we can bow the wrist, okay? And we'll talk more about that. So go ahead and set your grip on there. Okay, and the pen should be fairly snug right up against the forearm and the hand. Let's go to the top of your backswing and stop. Okay, so we can see there's a little bit of a space in here. I can slip my finger in there. We want to make it to where there is no space. He's more like this, nice and flat. So let's go to the cupped position, and we're going to bring this back in front for you. If I then uncock your wrist, you're going to see that club face is wide open.
Yep.
Okay? So when you are cupped with your wrist, you are going to be open with the club face, okay? And that's going to add loft, okay? It's also going to go way to the right, okay? So when we go to the top again, and we flatten the wrist, and I keep it like this, and we just turn it back, and I go this way, now we're straight.
Nice and square, yeah.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, we want the shaft running straight up your lead arm. Look at what happens when I flatten my wrist. Already presets that from the top. So when you go to the top of your backswing, we want to flatten your wrist for more solid contact and to lower your loft, okay?
Okay.
All right, so this is a good feel. I would not recommend hitting a golf ball with this because you will get poked for sure, okay? But nonetheless, it's good to rehearse in a slow motion swing, okay? You want to do that a couple more times on your own, and then we'll actually hit a ball. So just rehearse your backswing. Make sure you're getting your good setup. Go back to where you started. Make sure, give me a good tilt and lean.
Oh, the tilt. I was focusing on the wrist. I didn't think
See?
about the tilt.
So he's now learning just simply from a pen. Everybody has a pen, okay? If you have a pen, your golf club, and obviously using a glove, easy to fix this. Okay? That seems pretty good.
All right.
Okay, so we're gonna let her fly here. Let's take the pen out of there so we don't draw any blood today. Okay? All right. So all you're going to do is get into your good setup, and you work on in swing, just your flat left wrist, and swing through as best you can. Notice the golf ball went more to the left. We had still our longest drive at 265. Our spin rate was still very good. We did hit down on it a little bit, 0.8, so still a little bit better than where we started, but your longest total distance so far, okay? All right, let's try one more. Okay, things to continue to work on. We're hitting more up on the golf ball. We are lowering the spin rate, so we went from over 3,000 RPMs a spin, and now you're down to about 2,000 if we averaged all your shots together. So that's significant in terms of your ability just to keep the ball in play. We definitely want to turn this into a habit.
Yeah, it's definitely something that'll take a bit of time, but I can feel how that would definitely straighten things out. And
yeah, we're definitely not slicing it,
yeah,
which is really nice. We're, instantaneously within 4 swings, we fixed your slice and we lowered your spin. So
yeah,
with a simple drill like a pen, and we just leaned you a little bit.
All right, Mike, well, thank you. There's a couple of seemingly easy changes to make, but it's definitely going to take some practice. Definitely want to get some reps in the bay.
For sure.
And hopefully straighten out and lengthen that drive.
Absolutely. Worked right away, but definitely will get better with time and more practice.
Yeah, for sure. So if you want to continue to improve your swing, make sure you keep checking out our series here, and also check out Mike and his channel at LevelUp Golf Academy. And as always, we will see you in the next one.